David here with Futures Trading. I want to go ahead and just go over some of the content that I put out so far and kind of put it all together because I just gave you another price action method on last night. And hopefully you're able to use this stuff. Okay, let's put it all together. We're going to take a look at it. Simple stuff. So if you're new to trading, it should be able to benefit you. And if you are familiar with trading, hopefully this will help just be an addition to whatever it is that you're doing. So putting it all together, here's a range that I gave you to 6:15 a.m., 7:45. We had the signals coming in on the way, clearly on the way, but when they start slowing down, this is what you can look at. So the signal came in here, okay? Signal came in here, the low of this bar, they do not supposed to close under it. And I'll show it to you on the hourly as well, so you can kind of definitely get a look at it because the news came out, and that's something that you'll see. You'll see how it's working out on the hourly. No close back beneath this bar. Stop behind the bar with the signal. All right, with that signal, stop behind that bar. There's the C. That's for that consecutive closes. Because again, we're going to put it all together. If we can build, as many confluences as possible for the price action, and there's a good chance that it'll keep going. It's all about probability. So, of course, with the signal, if you're not familiar with the video that I made, I'll tell you what it is right now. The high of the bar is not touching the mid of that bar. So on each bar that I have, there's a black line. I'm gonna open this up just a bit. There's a black line on every bar that I have here. Now, you just don't want this high to touch the middle of that bar. And every high and every low is a pivot. So you want to just get them to push as hard as they possibly can away from that high. That's somewhat of a strong breakout. And then if they come back down, then you use the information I told you about the two leg removal. So within 3 bars, you pretty much got impulse, correction, impulse, and the middle bar is the corrective bar. So they can come under the middle bar. You just don't want them to pass the first one. So, and that's why I say, well, just don't allow them to get a close under this bar. All right. So then you had to show up again. Here's a signal bar here. They do not supposed to close under this bar. All right. So they don't supposed to close under that bar. Now they ran the signal. They clearly ran the signal. I told you there's two ways to trade it. Stop behind the signal bar or just make sure they do not close under the bar that's in the middle. All right. So that's that information here. And again, here's the range. All right. So you had the wicks coming in up here, wicks, several of them. All right. So make sure you pay attention to that. Several of them. All right. So we had the consecutive closes. I showed you the no touch scenario, the H's and the L's. So off the top here, you can kind of see them trying to reverse it. All right. It's warning you. All right. So here's one, there's two, there's three wicks at an angle. Right. That's a trend line on a smaller time frame. So if you're not familiar with trading and you're trying to learn it, this is something that can kind of help you out. On a lower time frame, they're trying to trend. All right. So and then it ended up coming back here with some more wicks, but they're not all lower, but you saw it show up before that. All right. And so here's several more wicks. There's the drop down. Now, off the news because we had news this morning. I want to go ahead and kind of show you what that looked like. Let's grab this. All right, so the first NT showed up here. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We do not want to see them close above that bar. All right, so and just adjust that just a bit. We don't want to see them close above this bar. The stop's supposed to go behind this bar. And before the news, they kissed the back of it. Okay, and then they drove down. News came in, jumped up. There's the bar with the consecutive close. Okay, we had two closes beneath that. They ran down past that. However, they got past it on the news. But remember what I told you, being that they were selling this high, and you can see those three wicks, they managed not to close above, of course, this price here. It's this price that's important, and they went back down. Once they did that, they definitely should have told you right then. And if you weren't able to benefit from that move there, if you're not, a counter trend trader and you just want to trade with the trend, I understand. I'm one that like to do that myself. So you got this bar that closed, right? So this bar closed, the signal here, you stop and go behind here. They push up. They do not supposed to close above this bar's high. And so the stop would be there, and then you go ahead and take the ride down. Now, if that's not what you want to do, and I understand, let's go with the trend. All right. And again, all the information, putting it all together. So when you see the bullish signals coming in, as you can see, the L's are getting placed, to go up. If you want, again, the low here of this red bar, the low here of this green bar, and the low here of this green bar here, that's a trend on a lower time frame. All right. So when they dive, oh, I'm sorry, here you go. When they dive back down, forgive me for that. When they dive back down, you could possibly pick it up, but remember, they definitely need to remove two legs, and they're definitely on their way. This is not really what I would consider a leg per se, because there's only one bar in there. But they're removing this one, and you can kind of see they're making two on the way, so they're definitely trending back up at this point. So Once you see the 3 come in, if you use a moving average that's roughly right between a 10 and maybe a 20, just something that kind of deals with, trend, kind of give you that slope or the angulation that you need. And then start using the context of the information that I'm providing. And it should give you some entries that kind of make sense. All right. So no close beneath this low. All right. Let's try to deal with it here. No close beneath this low. Maybe they'll do it now. Okay. Maybe. No close beneath this low because the signal came in here. And definitely because it's here as well. We can kind of zone it out, if you will. So even if they did that all in real time right in front of you here, if they did that, we definitely, it's 9:30. So you definitely don't want them to close beneath here. All right. So that's what they're doing now. Now let's take a look at it on the hourly before I let you go, because I know it's 9:30. So I don't want to stall out anymore. It's time to trade. So all right, then let's take a look at this. Kind of sticking here a little bit. All right, so let's do that. All right, so here's the news. Came down. Clearly, there's the signal here. Of course, the bar with the blue outline, all of that stuff comes into play. But just on price action stuff that I'm showing you, okay? Here we go. The bar, essentially this bar's high did not touch this bar's mid. So the low of this bar, no close beneath it. There's the news, push down, managed to come back up and close back above that bar's low. And again, this kind of ties into the consecutive close aspect too. So you don't want to see them doing consecutive closes beneath that price. Stop can go behind that bar, and that should be the end of that. Now, where do I think the market is going? I'll tell you right now. I think the market will absolutely wind up at least here. At least here. Now, I could be totally wrong with this, but let's deal with the counting part. So here's, the first bar after this pause. They can go at least, two more bars in this direction. Here's one that closed above this high. We need at least another. Now, hopefully that's the case, and they want to just go ahead and get up the board here. If not, they can pull down, and if they do that, that's fine as well. Now, if they do that, let's take a look at it from this aspect here. If they do that, let's do this. Let's say that this bar is low. Okay, no close back beneath that bar is low there. If they want to just get past all of this, which I doubt they will, but just for entertainment purposes, should they want to come down, you had a signal here. This kind of definitely makes sense here. So you had a signal here. They shouldn't close beneath that low, and hopefully they'll turn around, and just come right back up if they just want to knock out some of the overnight stuff. All right, so I wish you all the best with your trading, and I'll be back with another video hopefully sometime next week, probably mid of next week, maybe a little later. All right, so take care.